I immediately transitioned to moving backwards, reloading, and continuously moving the entire time. Okay, let's go check our accuracy.
Transitioning with AR. Using the two cardboards, we're not shooting steel this close. Just want to reiterate on the communications is on the Peltor Contact 3 with the Disco 32 push to talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to do a review of usnightvision.com's PVS-14 green phosphor with zone spots. This is a monocular device. Currently, the video that you're seeing, I have a GoPro mounted to the back of it, so you're actually looking through the night vision monocular that I am currently reviewing. So it is stated that it has zone spots. They do give you a disclaimer that there are spots in zones 2 and 3. And when I first purchased this monocular, the only way that I could see those spots is either with the training cap on it, or if I am looking at a white wall and the spots were so minuscule that they were just barely visible and I was barely able to find them, and they were completely out of the center of the image. So I was very pleased with the zone spots that there were there, as that is kind of a compromise of spending very little comparatively on night vision, is you'll typically have those zone spots, but none of those were in zone 1, which is the center of the image. Again, I was very pleased with what I got as far as the image quality and the size and location of those zone spots that were there. And as you can see in this video, none of those spots are perceivable at all through the GoPro, and you won't even notice them at all unless you are staring at a white wall or you have the training cap on, using it in an illuminated room or anything like that. So when I first purchased the usnightvision.com monocular, I had done quite a bit of research, quite a bit of extensive research into quote-unquote budget night vision, and the device that I purchased was in what they called a turnkey kit, which was it came with a monocular, a J-arm, a rhino mount, a bump helmet, and a OTALC weapon mountable laser. There are other companies out there that sell quote-unquote turnkey kits, where it'll come with an entire setup, everything you need to really get started into night vision. And for the most part, they're pretty good deals. Obviously, you need to do your research on the companies, and one of the reasons I decided to choose usnightvision.com to buy my kit was the fact that they had extremely high reviews. Their customer service was reported to be some of the best out there, and I did experience some of their customer service when I did have an issue, which was when I first purchased the kit. I had also bought, because I didn't want to use the J-arm and rhino mount, I'm not a big fan of those mounting options, so I had purchased a Wilcox G24 mount and a Wilcox J-arm with the dovetail. Well, my Wilcox G24 mount would not stay in place on the helmet mounting device. And I reached out to usnightvision.com, and I believe the customer service rep I had talked with, his name was Eric, and he was extremely apologetic, very helpful. He offered I could either send in my bump helmet and they would replace that night vision mounting device on the helmet, or they would simply just send me the new parts and I could do it myself. I opted to do it myself, and they sent it out very quickly, and I received it in just a few days after speaking with them through email. And ever since then, the new part was great. I haven't had any issues with it. Both my genuine Wilcox mounts stay in there, as well as the Amazon Wilcox knockoffs. So I've been very pleased with the customer service and the products that I got from usnightvision.com. So with that being said, there are a few issues with the two sets of monoculars that I did buy from usnightvision.com. Both of them could be viewed as quote-unquote budget night vision. The one that you're viewing through now, the green phosphor, as it came in that kit, I believe was around $3,700 for the helmet, laser, the monocular, the J-arm, and the rhino mount, which isn't terrible, but it also isn't great. There are other deals and other options out there. By itself, the night vision monocular that I purchased, they generally advertise for about $2,500 as a standalone, which would come with a J-arm and a skull crusher. So they do provide you with a method of mounting it on your head, even without the bump helmet, which is nice. Although skull crushers, if anybody has any experience with them, are the absolute worst method. Especially the old school skull crushers that come with your PVS-14. Technology has come a long ways, and there are a lot better options out there. Unfortunately, they're almost as expensive as a Wilcox mount by itself. So you can't always win them all. And so the monocular, the green phosphor with zone spots that you're viewing through the GoPro footage right now, it did come with a data sheet which stated it had a FOM or FOM of 1500. So 1500 is going to be about your average for the lower end Gen 3. Majority of people purchasing night vision, they're looking for the 2100 FOM or even higher at that. But the higher that FOM, obviously the higher the price point will be for that image intensifier tube or completed night vision device. Honestly, I have this one is 1500 FOM, and I have another monocular that has 21 or 2200 FOM, and the image quality is by far better with the 2000 FOM. I would not say it is worth $2,000 more than I paid for this green phosphor. If you don't have any night vision at all and you're looking for a budget option, 1500 FOM is going to work out just perfectly for you. You'll be able to see and do 99% of everything anybody else could do with the 2000 FOM. The main difference is going to be the image quality, and FOM stands for figure of merit. There's an actual mathematical equation they use to figure out the actual clarity or quality of the image that you see through the image intensifier. As I mentioned, I had purchased this monocular in a kit, and the Odal-C weapon mountable laser, it's great. It's just a simple laser designator. There's no illumination to it at all. It's just simply a laser that you can zero in to match your point of aim or point of impact or your line of sight, so to speak. And it does the job. It's nothing special. It's nothing great. Understand that even with a kit like I had purchased that came with the Odal-C, it's still not enough. Night vision is a very expensive aspect of training and gear and preparedness to get into, and a simple laser designator is not going to cut it. You're still going to need some sort of illumination, whether that's a standalone IR flashlight, such as like a Surefire Vampire, or an IR filter that you can put on place of another flashlight or tack light. There are other laser options out there that have a built-in illuminator and a designator, so you have that IR flood, or you have that pinpoint laser to make sure that you're able to shoot accurately. Remember, everybody is accountable for every bullet that leaves their gun. So with that in mind, those turnkey kits, quote unquote, they're not always going to be the greatest thing out there. They're not always going to be the most affordable. They're not even going to have the best quality everything. The bump helmet that came with usnightvision.com kit that I had purchased, the bump helmet was nothing to write home about. It's not something I would go and buy out separately and individually, especially if it's going to cost over $200. It just was not worth it, in my opinion. It's very flexible. I wouldn't say flimsy, but I could take two hands on it and bend the helmet inwards, whether it's from the sides or the front and the back, with relative ease. I'm not sure exactly how much protection it would actually give you from any sort of blunt force trauma. I personally, if I'm purchasing a bump helmet, I will only purchase a Team Wendy or better, and the Team Wendy's are extremely affordable, surprisingly so, considering the brand name. So just understand that this is a quote-unquote budget setup, budget night vision, and so you're not going to get the highest quality in any regards. The PVS-14s that I've gotten from usnightvision.com, both of them, my green phosphor and white phosphor, both of them have the best way to describe it is a fishbowl or fish eye distortion to them. Now, this is not the end of the world. It doesn't completely distort your image to where you can't make out anything. For example, the GoPro footage attached to this PVS-14 right now, you cannot see or tell that there is any distortion at all. With the naked eye, it is visible, it is distracting, but it does not affect how you're actually able to view or see or even engage any targets, whether that's with a laser or passive aiming through your optic. But it is a distraction, and anybody with any sort of experience with night vision will be able to see it. They'll be able to tell, and again, it's distracting. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to ruin your night vision experience, but you'll be happy once you buy a more expensive set and you don't have that distortion. You'll be very pleased, as it is a little tiring on the eyes and the brain is trying to comprehend what's going on with it. But again, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't completely ruin the image that you're looking at. It doesn't manipulate it or distort it to a point that things are unrecognizable or unmanageable. It is just kind of disappointing to spend so much money and have that kind of a distortion on it. But again, if you were looking for budget night vision, you know you're going to have to make some compromises, and hopefully you see this review before you buy it so you're not surprised by that distortion, as I was. And that's not to say I regret buying my PVS-14s from usnightvision.com. I just simply say, know what you're getting into, and have some expectations, and understand that with a price point as low as it is, there's going to be some compromises, and I believe one of those is going to be lower quality objective lenses that cause that distortion. But if that's a compromise you're willing to make, it is not a bad route to go. And usnightvision.com, I believe they do offer some financing options. Mostly, I believe it's going to be through PayPal financing or something like that. At least that was one of the options when I bought my night vision a couple of years ago. Night vision is expensive to get into. A lot of people like to say buy once, cry once. Well, you don't always have to. There are ways that you can find budget deals or find less expensive deals. Just understand that there will be a compromise. Not everybody can afford to drop $10,000 on a set of 2000 FOM night vision made by L3 that's non-filmed and has all the top of the line issues. If you are on a budget, there are options out there. You just have to do your research, do your homework, and make sure you know where you're getting into and what compromises you are willing to make. I hope this review helps. If you are looking for budget night vision, I hope you can find some out there that'll fit your needs, so you and your families can be prepared and protect yourselves.